My name is Vladimir Vanyushyn, and I have been a researcher in CiiR since 2012, and I will talk briefly about one of the projects within our work package on international links and ICT that deals with Born Global's firms. Those are the firms that internationalize very quickly since their kind of birth. Normally, internationalization is seen as a lengthy and fairly difficult process because companies need to deal with cross-cultural differences, institutional differences, language barriers, and so on and so on. Yet we have many examples of firms that internationalize on the day one. And those companies are quite influential. We all can think about firms like Spotify and Netflix that have redefined the way we consume media. So one of the interesting research questions that we discussed was how can these firms sustain and continue their rapid international development? Because one thing is to start and internationalize rapidly, but many of those firms are not able to sustain the same growth rate. We identified one essential precondition for success of those firms, and it is their business model, the way they create value and the way they deliver it to the customers. We studied multiple firms in the region, and from varying industries, such as CFlex from companies that offers maritime solutions, company like Algorix that delivers advanced physics simulations, company as a Toontrack that delivers music type of software. And all of those firms in their development were facing multiple challenges. The common ground behind their long-term success was business model innovation. They were consistently redefining the way they created value, the way they captured value from their transactions. And they were able to move from a small player position, although global, to a position of relative centrality within their customer and supplier group. They were able to become essentially the go-to partner in their own respective industries. The second part within internationalization aspect of those firms was that we have identified, and that has been relatively understudied before, is the importance of non-market information. Traditionally, we all look at, as business administrations or entrepreneurship scholars, at market environments, customers, suppliers, prices, and so on. And non-market factors such as regulations or political developments play a relatively small part. What we have shown, though, is that non-market environments and ability to scan and process information about them is quite important for sustained growth of such firms. Understanding developments within policy and regulatory sector of their international markets becomes quite important, and firms that develop efficient and formal routines for forecasting, understanding, and processing political and regulatory related information are able to handle much better their export or international business diversification decisions. So in that study we used exceptional circumstances of Euro crisis of 2012, and we did a cross-national study of British, French, and Swedish companies and their utilization of external information. And we have shown that companies that really follow the developments in political and regulatory environments do make more effective or efficient international business decisions. One implication that falls out of that for regional authorities and for policymakers is that they might put extra effort into structuring and presenting information related to international business environment, especially the political and regulatory aspects of those environments, to small companies in the region, and that will enable them to deal with exceptional political circumstances, which might happen now as we speak, much better. And also we have investigated, looked quite a bit into horizontal alliances or alliances with companies in the same industry, with competitors and with universities. We were interested in understanding what kind of factors underlie the ability of small firms to benefit from such alliances. And we conducted a custom-made study where we looked at the firms particularly in the north of Sweden, and the interesting result was that only about 10% of firms considered competitors as good partners, and less than 1% of firms considered universities as good partners, even in the context of new product development. It is quite important for authorities, especially university management, to understand the particular nature of demands and processes that and kind of challenges that firms approach them with, and possibly adjust their communication routines, reduce the bureaucracy and administrative overheads so that such alliances really deliver to their promise or live up to their promise.